Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. It only seems like yesterday we streamed. It was actually 2 days ago, but there we go. We've got another one of those coming up after this actually, so if you're into your 1v1 stuff, got another one coming up for you after this, which we will be commentating on. So get the links thrown out there. Do my usual promoting, and then I'll be right with you. We'll get a few laps in. Post that. We are live for the NGR VW Cup from Fuji. Yeah, so those who tuned in last week will remember it was the Red Bull Ring. It was wet, it was horrible. The boys and girls, maybe, who knows, it's anyone's guess these days, to be brutally honest with you. Had fun, I think, is probably the best way of putting it, in very tricky conditions. So let me get that sent out. Let me just put it in the group chat as well, so some of the boys can watch it. I know we're missing a few drivers tonight, so So, how is everyone? How are you all coping with moderate level of lockdown? Evening Bert Fry, evening John Green. Right, let's get out on track and do a couple of laps, and I'll show you what Fuji's short is all about in the Hooters wagon. Right, let's have a look then what we got. Let's put brake balance to the rear a little bit. Try and stay out of anyone's way who's actually on a fast lap, because I know there's a few. We'll tuck up behind the lights. That seems like a pretty sensible idea, given he's the alien. I'm used to short shifting because that's what I've been doing on my league. I'll have to get out of the habit of doing that. I was going to crash into Burntfly then, but I didn't. Are you thankful I didn't bash in? Have you changed your livery, Burntfly? Come here, let me have a look at that thing. I want to have a look at it. Oh, look at that beautiful thing! Look at that! Wait. Look at that! Thing of beauty, that, innit? Right, let's get some laps in. Burntfly, piss off. I'm past. These boys have probably been practicing all week, so we'll have had the benefit of knowing the track and how the car drives and behaves. See, Burntfly's just ran straight up me inside there. And he's run himself. Whee! Mate, don't be doing that tonight. Get off track. You weasel. Oh, you got a slipstream now, haven't you? Oh no. Dive bomb coming in. Burntfly, don't dive bomb me, mate. I'm doing a track guide. Don't be a douche. 1 minute. Sorry, that was terrible timing of my daughter coming in the room. So as you can see with Fuji in these Siroccos, it's, as it usually is, it's all about your throttle. So the temptation is to try and get the car straightened out and absolutely mash it. It's sometimes cheaper not to go for that approach and just coast the corners sometimes, just to prevent that from happening. He says. Oh, curb through me like that. But I did get my entry point completely wrong. But if I was copying my line from that last... Yeah, you stay out there, mate. The car doesn't seem to want to murder you as much. The Temptations are all about balancing it there, so let's see what sort of time we do. I've done, in practice, a 39.3. I was in our lobby before. This won't be that. Lucky if this is in the 40s, to be fair. 40.7. Right, let's give you a bit of a talk through the track then. Turn 1. Just be careful of people going really slowly. So you want to get the car turning in on the apex sort of as quickly as possible. Turn 2 is officially that looking. I'll just back out of it here for better fight. Turn in at the 50 board. You can coast a little bit just to make sure that your exit is nice and secure and don't do what Bertfry did there. Then just balance your throttle. Down change just before the car starts to drift wide and get back on the throttle before the apex. You're nice and tucked in that way, and you haven't scrubbed off any speed in the process. Coming down the little back straight then. Pretty much flatline this, save you a 10.42. And then in the full course, this is where you turn into the chicane. You do change down 2 gears into 4th, a little bit of a coast. Just hook it up on the curbs nicely, try not to run too wide. Fuji is quite forgiving in that it will let you do that. And then this back S's section is basically just all about your lines into the corners. So into qualifying. Obviously I'm going to back out at this point and grab my peripherals so that I can commentate properly. To answer your question, not too good one. Oh, do you, mate? Oh, crap. Well, whatever happens, bud, we're in it together, and I just hope that you get through it. How's it looking for you guys then? Are you still not having to be out there working? Bobby's binned it already. Right, let's get some gubbins on for you. Right, so to those not familiar with the Next Gen Racing VW Cup, we're in for 10 minutes qualifying right now, and we're just watching Bobby absolutely span out now. You're in for 10 minutes qualifying to determine the starting order for a 20-minute race. In both the qualifying and the race, there is no tyre wear, there is no fuel depletion. All cars, other than the liveries, are exactly the same. So every driver is pretty strictly restricted by their driving ability, I guess. Let's get this on the MRC page and get a few more viewers in here. Give me a second. Mature Racing Club. Pav's here. Oh no, right. Bobby, Pav's here. What are you going to do? 1 minute. See if they'll do restart to get Pav in. Fairness, Pav has joined just a little bit late, but only by 2 minutes. So we'll see what Bobby chooses to do. He's currently in the menu, I think. Yeah, restart. So we're going to restart to get another driver in the lobby. So everyone back out, cancel. While you're doing that, I'll see if we've got tables and all that sort of stuff ready to go. Who's the new guy? Your mum. He was in an Audi TT earlier, mate, I'll be honest with you, so God knows who he is. But I don't really care. No, let's see if we've got any tables for the Sirocco Cup. I don't think we have, you know. Yeah, I don't think we have got tables as of this minute. So to talk you through results from last time out then. No idea we can sell it. Alright, let me just get out of this. And we'll just wait for restart to happen. Our Lager fan is left room shadow. Oh, for God's sake. Don't leave the room. Stay in the room. Right, I'm doing a weird thing tonight, and I'm having a beer. I don't normally drink, but I think the last few weeks require a beer. So wood for Z1, is it? Wood for Z1? We'll give him a welcome. If he's one of Stu Law's mates, he's fine by me. Cool. YouTube. Oh, bugger off. I keep spamming stuff on my keyboard. Yeah, Stu Law's a good bloke. He's done me a new intro from YouTube videos, by the way, so, yeah, buddy. That will be up in the coming days. God, yeah, I'm getting any messages left, right, and centre. Yeah, so I hope with all this coronavirus stuff you're staying safe wherever you are in the world, whatever you're doing to manage it, whether you're having to self-isolate or what. However you are getting through this, I truly hope that you're doing it in the best way possible. A lot of real life stuff's been cancelled, which is why you'll see us in the sim racing world just start to amp things up a little bit now. Purely and simply, it's because we're bored. We're exceptionally bored. So yeah, we're doing a lot of this stuff. Yeah, so expect to see in the coming days loads more as KZ2 just rolls bit of fire. I don't think he's even there. He's gone. Look. He says, no, quit. I'm out. Yeah, it's just been absolute chaotic. But I do love the new livery, mate. I've got to approve of that. I am a fan. The Les is in his usual psychedelic graphic tone. Suburtus, I think, was missing last week. He is back. Oh no, he wasn't, because I remember the arse biscuits livery from last week. Bobby's in his cancer research one still. He's not changed. Danzo was in like a Monster Energy one? Can't remember. Seamus, mate, I have had your invite to the party, but while I'm doing comms, I prefer not to be in them. Just because not all of you have your audio settings turned on correctly, and honestly, mate, it's an absolute cluster. So I'd rather avoid it, pal, if that's all right by you. For the special event that will be taking place a little later on tonight, I will have both races in the party, but for this one, I won't. Here's our new starter, Woodforsea, who's getting in the thick of it straight away, and seems to be handling these Siroccos all right. So he's going to get a bit of a slipstream from good old Seamus down the start-finish straight, but these boys are... So Seamus now is punching a hole in the air for Danzo and Shadowstalker as well. So if Woodforsea can get in the slipstream and stay there, potentially make a lunge into T1, then he should get a good lap in. So we'll check back on those mad lads later on. Bobby is just doing Bobby things. KZ2, who we saw just smash it off into the gravel straight away. I don't even think he was at his sim rig. Pav is out and about, and Lagafani is just coming out of the pits to start qualifying now. So, how are we getting on? So, what I can do for you guys on the live stream is look at live timing. So currently the Les is 2 temps up on Bertfry's time. Bertfry's just gone purple in the middle sector, then the Les instantly goes a temp quicker, and it's all down to the last sector between these boys now as to who gets provisional pole. Bertfry is going to have it for about a second unless the Les makes a mistake, basically. So we'll see how that pans out. The line you take into this last corner is pretty vital to your exit speed going down the main straight. If you cut that up, then you're out of it. Deleuze, not sure if it's in slipstream range. I'll be honest, I ain't sure. It looks like he might be a little bit too far back to benefit from any slipstream that Bentvar might be providing. So 1:39.7 for him, 1:39.8 for Deleuze. I don't think that's right. 1:39.619 for Bentvar, 1:39.3 for Deleuze. That's pretty much an identical time to what I did, so I could be on pole. Anyway, I won't blame. We'll wait for the boys to come and set their first qualifying times. They'll have opportunity to do other laps, of course. It's not going to be all down and out and over right now. There is plenty of opportunity to improve your time. Slipstream down that main straight is going to be worth a few tenths at least, so it is definitely worth, definitely worth going for a slipstream. Right, let's have a little bit of a recap now. Everyone's set one lap. Let's look. So the Les, halfway through the session, a provisional pole by 3 tenths of a second to Bentvar. And Bentvar half a second ahead of KZ2 Hassett, aka the Flash. The Flash is leading Slow Seamus, who's just apologising for something, so obviously something's just happened. He's currently in 4th, but 2 seconds off the lead, so it's a huge gap. So Slow Seamus set at 1:41.5 there, and we know that a lot of this pack behind, looking at Pav and Bobby and Seamus, can go a lot faster, so those times are going to start pouring in any minute. Pav 46's first time was a 1:43.4, so obviously we know there's better from him. Woodfussy, the new guy, 1:44.3 for him, 5 seconds off the pace so far. Bobby's massively off the pace. Deleuze improves, 1:38.9, stopped showing off. Bentvar didn't improve that time around. Who's out there? Who is out there? So we're going to see a lot of these times sort of get set as they reel in. KZ2 is on an improved lap. I don't think Bentvar is happy with something the Les did. I'm afraid I can't go back and have a look at that. Unless he's just saying, what the hell was that lap, because that was amazing. He might be saying that, we never know. Slow Seamus then, does he improve? He needs a better lap this time round. He's not going to get it because he was slowing down a lot, so he now needs to put his head down and get a move on. Pav 46 finally shows his pace, 1:40.4, represented by the Les Lagerfan. He improves with a 1:42. Bobby not in the grooves tonight at all, is Bobby, and he's down in the 150s at the minute. That's a good 11.5 seconds off the pace, I'm afraid. Woodfussy, can he improve? He's probably going a little bit narrow into that turn now. Try and widen your exit a little bit if I were you. It'll just give you a much better line into the next series of corners. But he's on the hard tyre as well. Woodfussy, you're on the hard tyre. That ain't going to help you, mate. Get in the pits and change him. We should lock it down to softs only, in fairness. That's what I was under the impression we were doing, but who knows. So Les doesn't improve. Bentvar, does he improve? No, of course he doesn't improve. Who else is one to watch? Pav 46. Let's have a look at sector time, see if he's setting them on fire yet. He's not improving, I'm afraid. Pav 46, so he's probably not worth watching right this minute. Someone who is on vastly improved times though is Lagerfan. He's on personal best times throughout the whole thing, and he's currently on a 1:42.2, which is 3.3 seconds off the pace. We do know he holds better pace than that as he rounds the last corner now. Slight backed uphill, seems to get a good exit out of the final corner and launches himself down the main straight. So let's see what he can do. It seems like an eternity waiting for the cars to make their way down that main straight there. 1:42.2 to beat, 1:41.8, which isn't good enough to propel him further up the table, but it does improve his time dramatically. Bobby, finally we see him put in a decent time. 1:41.1 for Bobby, 7th on the grid for him so far. 2 minutes left of the session. Let's see how many people are doing. Let's go and check in on Woodfussy and see how he's doing. 1:44.3 for him, pretty much identical to his second lap time so far. He's just about to come down to the second timing marker, so we'll see how his see how and if he's improving that time, but on hard tyres, he's gonna struggle to improve his time that much. Hard tyres are going to be worth 2 seconds a lap here easily, if the other guys are pushing. So he's already got the odds not stacked in his favour. He won't be getting as much grip. Those cars do slide around a lot more on a car that already suffers with catastrophic understeer. So he's having to be really careful on the throttle as much as he bends the final corner, gets on the brakes. I'm afraid, commentator's curse, as we go on board with him, makes a bit of a pig zero that last corner. Mate, change your tyres, change them, pit, box now, box now. Never mind. But yeah, he's improved his time still, which is something to be said, even though he'd been off the bloody track. I think the Les has given up with qualifying. Burnt Fry nearly has as well. Slow Seamus finally 141.1 for Seamus. That's a great time. Danzo 143.3. Lager Fanny 140.6. That puts him 2 places up into 6 places. Only for Bobby to improve and put him down again. 140.3 for Bobby. Where is Pav? Yeah. The only reason I haven't put in the chat and mentioned it, mate, is because the race is going to automatically start, and it's going to automatically start with the tyres he's on now, with the tyres he started on. So it's pointless. He's going to have to race on hard tyres, which is unfortunate. But it does look like we have a pole sitter, ladies and gentlemen, in the Les, a 138.9. A stonking lap by the Les, to be fair. Burnt Fry's not able to do any better. 139.8 that time around. KZ2 House would need a Herculean effort in order to get up there, and he's not setting purple times, I'm afraid. The person who was setting purple times was Lager Fanny. He was absolutely rocketing around the circuit. As he rounds the final bends now, just runs it a little bit wide, but he should just about get away with that. He shouldn't get dirty tyres too much from going out there. As we watch Lager Fanny yet again. Go down the main straight. Pav 39.4 for Pav. That was him second. That displaces Burnt Fry right at the death. Let's see what Lager Fanny puts through. Not enough, I'm afraid, this time round. He did have a purple first sector, but lost all that time in sector 3. Not good. So let me go back and just check and see what you guys have been saying, if anything. You working? Oh, did he hit in turn 1? I wasn't watching, mate, I'm not gonna lie. But the slipstream at the end of that, I mean, you're gonna have to be careful of that in the race, because your slipstream down there is gonna be ridiculous. Should be locked down, but I'm not the host anymore. I'll blame Bobby, mate. Easy to blame Bobby. Right then, let's see what this race has in store. 20 minutes now at Fuji. Lights come on, ready to get underway here. See if everyone gets away well. Looks like Danzo gets a good start at the back, but it looks like everyone's away cleanly at least, and that's I guess all we can really hope for right now. Pav 46 already putting the Les under pressure. Looks like he'll even get ahead. He will. Pav on the inside line. Looks like KZ2 was going for a mark there as well, but there's been a bit of a cluster. I'm not going to say the other word, but there's been a right cluster at turn 1. KZ2 and Lager Fanny at it again. These guys were having a little bit of a kerfuffle last week, and Flash is flashing, he's not happy, so something somewhere has occurred, and we're going to go back and review that and just see what did happen. And see if we can see who potentially might have been the one to blame for that incident. Let's get on board and have a look. So I'm just going to go on board with Danzo for no other reason than he might have a really good view of it. So most cars brake plenty in time. It looks like, yeah, it looks like one car there forgot to brake, I'm afraid, and went straight into everyone else. This stuff does happen in real life racing, of course, so we can't cast too many aspersions at that. This stuff does happen, and you crack on a race, don't you? Let's have a look at the battle for the lead then. Pav 46 and the Les. We know these guys have got form. Bobby's getting involved in that as well, so the top three now starting to break away a little bit more. Danzo having a good account of himself. Currently having to hold off a Burnfly and Seamus, though. Those two guys do have pace and they will want to make an assault for the lead. Seamus is going to get all sorts of slipstream coming down the main straight. It's whether he can find a suitable gap coming down into turn one to make it dives to the inside. Lovely late lunge there by Seamus. That's a beautiful move if he sticks it. Looks like he's just going to run it a bit wide on exit. Burnfire's going to be able to just keep his nose in, and I'm afraid Seamus is just going to have to back out of this turn and live to fight another day. But we'll go back and have a look at that, because that was a nice little overtake by Seamus. Just on board with the Irishman now. You can sense the overspeed from the overtake. Look at a braking marker poaching. Gets on the brakes as late as he dares. Gets the move made. Lovely move there by Seamus. So meanwhile at the top, the Les has assumed the lead of the race. Again, there was an overtake, I did miss it. He's got Pav 46 all over his back end. Bobby is still in that fight. Burnfire after that overtake is up into fourth, now chasing those boys down. He's got past early enough, he can now make a genuine assault for the lead. Not so slow Seamus. Probably going to want to try another cruel overtake at turn one again. We'll see how that plays out. Danzo now coming under assault from Suburtus. Suburtus looks to get that move made. Now, I wasn't going to give you any airtime while you're listening, because you don't like my voice. But I do like your livery, so I'm going to give him credit there. And he looks like he's going to pull a move on two cars. Look at this. KZ2's involved in that one, but Mad Marshall just gets his braking just a little bit too late. I think 5 metres earlier, and that would have been absolutely sticked. But that was a good effort on the overtake there by Mad Marshall. He's going to have another crack at Danzo again as well. Shadow Stalker looming like the stalker is in the background there. Yeah, some good racing going on in this one. Oh, Bobby's passed Pav. Pav's had an issue somewhere. Can we see what that was? No, it was way before the replay starts, so we don't get to see that. Burnfire 2 seconds back from Pav then. If he can latch onto Pav's slipstream, he's got a real chance of getting involved in that top 3 fight. KZ2 Hassett, who you will remember was off at turn 1 at the very start of the race, is now up in 6th position, and in fairness has made a blinding recovery so far. So Flash is back in with a shout of some results in this race. Still 15 minutes to go, ladies and gents, so plenty of time left in this one. Let's have a little bit of a check on the comments. There isn't any. If you're watching this, just give me a shout and let me know who you're cheering on. I'll make sure to give them some coverage as well. Just reload the stream because it wasn't mentioning. There we go. Coming down, then Mad Marshall's having to defend to Danzo, so it looks like Mad Marshall has got past Danzo and got himself up into 8th position, goes defensive into T1. Danzo, does he go for the late braking move? He does, but Mad Marshall just about sticks it. It's not not bad moving at all. Shadow Stalker fending off Lager Fanny. Lager Fanny we know has got pace around this circuit, but obviously was off quite early on in proceedings. I think if I do this, yeah, look at that, it brings you up a little infographic, including what the helmet looks like. Quite cool. Yeah, Lager Fanny had some real good pace, so he should be further up the grid. But I do want to say he was also involved in that turn 1 kerfuffle as well. Woodforsey first race in this, and we will know he's on the hard tyres, so he will be having severe grip issues, I'm afraid. So Woodforsey, I'm afraid, at the minute isn't producing his best performance, but we can blame a lot of that on tyres. We know those tyres are going to be costing him time in the race. Jeno, Limpy, welcome to the stream. How are you? So, Deleuze has just about dropped Bobby out of his slipstream, so this could be a critical moment in the race. Path 46, you have a choice, my friend. You have a choice. You could work with Bobby. You could bump draft him on the straights. You could not fight him into corners. You can work to get back up to the alien that is Deleuze. Plenty of time left in the race. Whereas, if Pav and Bobby now start to fight, that's it, game over, the battling for second. There's no a win is out of the question, I think. Deleuze is super consistent. I'm afraid he is just one of those people that, yeah, when he gets out in front, gets there, sticks there. Bobby's similar, he's a good driver, we give him a lot of stick, do we, but yeah, he's a decent driver. Pav 46, a beautiful human being. Race with him on Tuesday nights. He's a very, very, very fast guy. Burnt Fry, other than having a nice livery, I've got nothing nice to say about him. You have a very shiny helmet, Burnt Fry, that's what I will say. Slow Seamus, currently running in 5th, has got a KZ2 Haas, fighting him down, typically running Irish theme everywhere. So very proud of his nation, I don't blame you. It's unfortunate that St Patrick's Day didn't really get the normal sort of attention it does, I guess. Basically, it's basically just a big drinking fest, isn't it? The Flash down in 6th at the minute, 12 seconds away from the leader, halfway through the race. Him and Seamus could work together as well. Burnt Fight isn't that far away. I mean, he is. Yeah, he is actually quite far away. But, yeah, it's up to you boys, to be fair. Fight or not fight, that is the question. Sir Bertus, currently in 7th place, kind of on his own, Sir Bertus, I'm afraid. He was battling Seamus for a little while, and that battle fizzled out. So we'll see if he manages to get himself in anything later on in the race. We do tend to see in these races that this middle bit of the race is a little bit boring in some respects. Like, a lot of the battles do tend to fizzle out. You get little pockets like this that we're seeing now, which is Danzo, Shadow Stalker, Lager Fanny and Bad Marshall. These guys are all fighting now for genuine position. And they may well remain to do so for the rest of the race. Who knows? Lager Fanny's just been passed by Shadow Stalker, and Mad Marshall is going to have a look down the inside as well, but Mad Marshall backs out and gives him the place back. So that's the action at the back. Mad Marshall in 11th, and it looks like we have lost Woodforsey. I think he's just given up. Right, how's this teamwork making the dream work happen? It's not. Pav dropped Bobby. Bobby and Burnt Fry now battling. Now, boys, you can save this till later, because you two are fighting later on. You don't have to fight now. You can save it. Dave, good to see you, mate. Yeah, Bobby and Pav. Oh, Bobby's currently in a battle for 3rd place. Which is going to assume going into this turn. Burnt Fry's looking for the switchback. Is he going to get it? No, Bobby just covers that off nicely. But it's whether these boys decide to work together or not, because Pav ain't that far away. 2.5 seconds up the road, but if these two fight now, that's it. They can kiss second place goodbye. So it depends on whether they work together. Spoiler alert, they won't. I don't think either of them are in competitive mindset, friendly mindsets towards each other at the minute. I think there's a lot of very friendly but very fierce competition going on between these two right now. Stay tuned for a 1v1 against these boys. We will have him in the chat. We will have him throwing banter and shade about. Expect that to come. So Bobby v Vertfry is probably the battle of the race right now, but we will still just check in on how the rest of the pack are doing. I wouldn't be doing my job if I didn't do that. KZ2 and Slow Seamus embroiled a little bit of a tiz as well. And they have been for a lap or so now. Suburtus still on his own. Danzo getting chased down by Lagerfani, who in turn has got a queue of cars behind him ready to pounce if he makes a mistake. However, Mr. Alien Les is way out in front, 4 seconds to Pav, 8 minutes left of this race. Beautiful. Jano limping along nicely. Good on you, good on you. Right, Bobby and Vertfry, I'm going to guess aren't working together because Pav's pulling away. 2.5 seconds to gap now. Okay, so 2 Haas and Slow Seamus simmered down a little bit. Gap's increased by half a second in the last lap. Whether they're just backing off a little bit or whether Slow Seamus just got a line wrong into a corner, who knows, who knows. But yeah, that gap has calmed down a little bit now. This viewer at the back has as well, as we see Shadow Stalker. Mate, it looked like you were about to die there. I'm not gonna lie. 2 wheels on. Look at that save. Look at that. Mate, change your thingy tag to Shadow Stalker Drift King, because that'll be it. Oh, a development. Bobby and Vertfry gained half a second on Pav in that last lap. They might be working together. The Pav isn't he's losing time to the Les, but not in ridiculous waves. He's got to think about what this attack might look like when this does arrive from these two behind him, if they work together. Vertfry hasn't gone for the overtake there, and he was within Vertfry lunging range, which for reference purposes is about 1 mile. So I'm gonna take a safe bet on the fact that these boys are potentially starting to work together now to reel Pav in. I'm sure this one's to be continued. Oh yeah, so if you're in the comments, talk to me, what's going on in your world. So just watch poorly timed yawn. Danzo Lagerfeld. Oh, that could have been a very close call on the track rejoin there. Lagerfeld had that one covered all day long, didn't he? He knew what was coming. There's a lot of random people shouting outside my house. I don't know what's going on. Right, 1.5 seconds the gap now between Pav and Bobby. 1.5 seconds for reference talk is roughly the sort of distance where you'll start getting some slipstream. There or thereabouts. Not an exact science, but it's there or thereabouts what it is. Vertfry giving a little bit of a flash of the lights. Would foresee, could have sworn I changed all that. Maybe, mate. Don't forget that GT Sport's famous for resetting your settings all the time, so just get in the habit of checking it, mate, to be honest, because yeah, it's just one of them things that you just, when you play this game, you just get in a habit of checking all the goddamn time. Bobby then 1.6 seconds behind Pav. We did see Burntfire give him a little bit of a nudge coming down the back straight. That would have been to just increase his speed a little bit. Technique called bump drafting, they do it a lot in NASCAR. But are they starting to fight again now? Who knows? Bobby's got his hazard lights on for some reason, whether he thinks he's broken down. Burntfire's still pushing him along the circuit. Pav's extended the gap 2.1 seconds, so I think he's become aware of the threat and has started to motor on a little bit. They've got 4 minutes to do something, and I think urgency is happening now, and I think at some point these boys are going to go, you know what, sod this. Seconds out the window, I'm just going to fight now. I'm just going to defend this. Meanwhile, elsewhere on circuit, this battle for 8th is still a decent thing to watch. So Danzo, Lagerfani and Mad Marshall, they're still they're still very close together. I'm not saying relatively, very close together. These boys are all fighting for vital points in this championship at this stage. Oh, Lagerfani goes for a different move there, but yeah, he backed out of that. I think he noticed that there was contact and backed out of it. So Danzo seemed a little bit late getting on the power there, so it's a serious risk of being overtaken. Let's see if Lagerfani does go for that move. He certainly is. He's not going to look a gift horse in the mouth too much on that one. One to watch here is going to be Mad Marshall, because he's going to get the slipstream of both of these guys. Will be motoring along at a much higher rate of knots. Gets on the brakes nice and early though. Mad Marshall doesn't want any part of the chaos that could have occurred there. Just checking in on this lot up here. So it looks like things, I'm not going to say have calmed down, I'm not going to be preemptive and say that. Probably we have got on the penultimate lap now. With a swig of my San Miguel. I forgot that San Miguel is actually a really tasty beer. They ain't going to worry about anything from behind. It's a good battle you're watching here. The battle for third. It is the battle for third, but Pav isn't a million miles away, and he now is going to be giving these boys a bit of slipstream. So you watch that gap shrink. It was 1.3 seconds I think when we started at the top of the straight. It will be down to less than a second by the time the straight is finished, and providing Bobby and Burntfire nail their braking, they can do even better than that. So yeah, looks like they managed to keep it 9 tenths now, the gap between Pav and Bobby. Bobby will be wondering if Burntfire's going to go for an overtake at some point. He's got potentially another lap after this one. Don't know if we'll get the time, don't know if they'll get around this in a minute now, who knows. Potentially will. Yeah, I think they'll get round in another. I think they'll finish this lap by the time a minute's out. So they should get another lap in. For some of the races on track, this will be their last lap. Those that have just started the lap won't get time to get over and do another one. So some of the battles we're watching further down, it may be worth just keeping tabs on those as this lap comes to a close. We'll just have a flick and see. It'll simmer down a lot back here, so if you don't mind awfully, I'm going to exclusively watch what's going on behind, because this could go down to the wire. If these boys make it to the line in the next 20 seconds, they're good. Burntfire gives Bobby a massive launch off there. That's oh, I don't know if they're going to make it, you know. I don't know. The Les is safe. The Les is over. The Les is over. Pav 46. Does he make it over in time? Does Bobby does, Burntfire does. That's it though, so the top 4 will race another lap, and Pav and Bobby are really close together now. Kaiser 2 has finished in 5th position with Slow Seamus in 6th. Suburtis is going to come home to bring 7th. gonna bring something home. Sorry, Lagerfani had an eventful race as he is up in 8th position today. Danzo in 9th, and Bad Marshall finishing in 10th. Good result from Bad Marshall that, and Shadow Stalker is gonna bring home 11th. Right, back to the top. Par 46, Bobby and Burntfry involved in a battle for 2nd place. Bobby just tucks into that slipstream there that Pav's offering out. About 5 or 6 corners left on the circuit. Pav knows Bobby's there and he's defending. He's been in pretty much second, or he's been in second pretty much the entire race. Bobby tries to move around the outside. That's not going to work. His best option for an overtake is to sneak down the inside here and force Pav wide. Looks like he's trying to make that happen, but just can't make it done. Or get super close coming down the main straight and slingshot yourself around for an overtake under slipstream. Can he get that done? The gap 3/10 as he enters the main straight. Looks like Pav's done a good enough job. The Les has finished, so the Les, the winner of this one. As we're used to saying on this channel, Pav finishes 2nd, Bobby finishes 3rd, with Burntfry confirming 4th position. So that was about as close as you're going to get for an end of race. The group chat's already talking about that first corner incident, which of course will happen in racing, and I'm not really wanting to comment on it on a stream because then I'll get yeah, because then I'll just basically get tailed off for doing it. But there we go. What a race. Yes, Bob, couldn't agree more, my friend. You boys, Pav, Burntfry, Bobby, you were pretty much together most of the race. So yeah, some great racing from you guys up top. What else happened? Yeah, we had turn 1 drama. With some late qualifying. Woodford C going out on hards. Mate, come back next week with softs. Honestly, come back next week with softs. There's some great racing in this. And they've ended the game. Right, well, I'm going to do my stream wrap up now then, seeing as I've been forced out of the room. I will be live again tonight. So they're going to do another race, which is just like another league race they do, which I don't commentate on because I like to go and eat food and stuff. We will be back later tonight for a special event. Now that special event is 2 boys that you've just seen in there, Bobby and Burntfry. They will be racing a couple of, I think it's 2 tracks, 2 tracks, might be, I might be wrong, who knows. 2 tracks and in 2 cars of their own choices. I can't remember what they've picked, to be fair. They did have yeah, God knows. I can't remember what tracks there are, to be fair. I can't remember if one's Bathurst or I've literally got no idea. But that's the magic. We'll see all that later on. So yeah, join us for that. That's them 2. We're going to have them in the party chat with us, hopefully, and we'll get some banter flying about. Just trying to have a laugh while the world's going mad, you know what I mean? And yeah, that's it, ladies and gents. So stay tuned to the channel, subscribe, comment, let me know what you think of the video and the race that you've just seen. If you want to get involved with this sort of stuff as well, there's a whole myriad of sim racing groups available for you to join. Facebook's a platform we all use to sort of communicate, so have a look for Next Gen Racing on there. But there are also other groups that I recommend, so Mature Racing Club, SimFX and P1 are all very good groups to get yourself involved in. If you want to watch a little bit of racing in the meantime, I believe the P1 boys will be live very soon, actually, over on Dark Smoker's channel. He normally does stream on a Thursday night. As far as I'm aware, they are streaming tonight. So head on over to Dark Smoker's channel and go and check out some racing. I think it's their McGann's that they do on a Thursday night. Okay, alright, enough of me chatting absolute nonsense for you for now. Thank you for tuning in. I'll be live a little bit later on tonight with the other racing. And until then, I'll see you next time.